Hello again everybody, welcome back to Buckland Farm for episode 2 of the Let's Play. So you may have seen on the thumbnail that we might have made a bit of a mistake when we started this Let's Play. That mistake being the running costs that we were getting. So obviously in the first episode we had, I think it was about 6,000 something pounds come out just while doing one harvest. That was for the running costs. So when I came back on to start recording this episode, I went and started the harvester off in the second wheat field, and after about half an hour of in-game time we dropped another 12,500, which took us to around about minus 10,000 something. So I stopped the recording, did a bit of investigating and testing. Say a bit. Spent about 3 hours trying to find out what the problem was. And I think it's just the fact that I had set everything with a certain amount of wear, a certain amount of damage. I don't think the dirt particularly affects it at all, but certainly the damage and the wear and the hours that are set on the machines. So I came back on, I set all the wear rates for all the machines. This is only the machines, not the equipment or tools. So the harvester, the 4 tractors, the pickup and the telehandler. So set all the wear to 0, and then damage, they've all still got a little bit of damage, no more than about 20%, and they're still dirty. Still got various rates of dirt and fuel levels as well. So when I was testing it, there was barely any running costs while it was all set to those particular settings. So I think that might have solved it. As I say, there is still some wear, some damage, damage and dirt on the machinery and vehicles, and as I say, the tools and implements are all still set at various levels of damage, etc. So it will still be tough. Another thing I did do is I calculated all the lease fees for everything we've got, and I realised that is £44,628. So the main 2 contributors of that are the JCB and the Fendt tractors, which account for over £18,000 of that just on their own. So I've come up with a plan. I'm going to sell the JCB, not sell it, but send it back and replace that with a smaller, cheaper tractor. But I'm also going to use the loan system mod. So at the moment I can take out £625,435, and as you saw in the last episode, we've got that up to 20-year period. So if we look at the Fendt, for example, the Fendt is, if we were going to buy that, that would be £280,163. Now the tractor I'm looking at is around 22. So if we got a loan for 300,000, we could buy the Fendt and we could also buy the new tractor. So that will reduce the lease costs by 18,000 odd. But it will also add on to that the loan interest rates. So we just have a look now. If I was going to take out a loan of 300,000 over, let's say, 5 years, with the interest rate being 3.5%, the monthly repayment would be 5,537. So altogether, I think our over end of month fees will be roughly 30,000, just over. So we've still got to make sure we're making 30,000, but also, while we're here, I'm just going to take that loan and do that. So we're still going to have those fees each month, but we're also going to have to make more on top of that for things like fuel, slowly sort of repairing all our equipment, bringing it back up to scratch, and also in the not too distant future we will need things like seed, fertilizer. We will need a seeder actually as well, because I don't think, no, we have got a seeder, sorry. Yeah, so we do still need to make more money on top of that for the things we want to do on the farm. So it's still going to be challenging, but as I say, hopefully those running costs won't be, we will still get some, but they won't be anywhere near as bad as they were, which is my mistake. I didn't know that they would be so high. I knew the lease fees would be high, but I didn't realise that the running costs were going to be so bad. So yeah, what we'll do now then is we will, now I've took that loan, we'll buy the Fendt. So we'll purchase that. So that is now ours. And then the tractor I'm looking at is where are we? This one here. So the Renault T54 TZ Nectra. It's only 18,000. And if we upgrade the engine for another 1,000, it takes that to 145 horsepower. So that then is in between the Massey and the Ford. So we've got a quite a broad base of machinery there, so we can do sort of different jobs according to horsepower requirements and etc. And then obviously the Fendt is the big boy with 517 horsepower. So I think we'll have a pretty good setup there for what we need to do. So as I say, we'll upgrade the engine. I do put a little bit of tyre sound on. Don't need front fenders. Weight, well, I'm going to go for a front attacher. We can always change it if we want to for a weight, but we could also just buy another weight. So I think it's better off having the 3-point there for in case we need it. Accessories, we will say yes because they're free. This is the warning triangle on the back. I think we'll keep that on there. Glass colour will change to white. I don't know why you would want blue, but it costs £50 extra for the white for some reason. And then the attacher, I'm going to put that on field attacher, so we've got a little drawbar there, so easier for towing. Won't need a front loader attacher because we've got the telehandler, and we will keep that number plate because it's fairly old style, which will suit the tractor. So yeah, £20,250. So again, we're going to buy that, which will mean we own 2 tractors and the pickup and the weight, I think it was. Yeah, the weight. So the JCB's gone. I did that off camera when I was testing things. Yeah, right. So the next thing was the baler. Now, the baler I've got, I prefer square balers than round. So I have sold the round baler. Or I keep saying sold, but everything was leased. So I've sent the round baler back, and we're going to lease a square baler, which was it is a little bit cheaper, the one I'm looking at. It is a nice baler. Nice old style chrome baler. So we can have a single wheel or double wheel setup. I think we'll keep it as a double. Yeah, we'll keep it at that. And then I think we'll go for that colour. Right, so we'll lease that. Obviously that is a little bit cheaper than the round baler that we had, but as I say, I do prefer the square balers, and obviously to go with that, I have sold or sent back the round baler bale wrapper, the 3-point link one, because we won't be doing round bales now. So when it comes to doing silage, we will need to lease a bale wrapper. Fortunately, there aren't any. I was hoping there might be a square baler that will go on the front, but I suppose that wouldn't really work. But it would have been nice to have a 3-point link one. I do like using these. And that's only a round baler. So we're looking at something like that. The Anderson, which is a static baler, I think. Got that one there, but it will only do 180 centimetres square. So I think we're going to be looking at one of these, although I do like the McHale. I do like the look of that. I think that will probably be what we go for. I'm not sure whether it's a standing baler or trailed one that will pick them up in the field, but we'll find out when we come to use it. So we just need to remember that the bales we need to do are 220 centimetre. So we will set the baler to that as soon as we start using it. So yeah, the only other thing was I've tweaked the lighting a bit. As you can see, we just go to the fence there. I did notice when I was editing episode 1 that the wheat field was very sort of bright. So I have just tweaked that a little bit. I think that looks quite a bit better. So yeah. So I want to thank everyone for watching the first episode, and if you're watching this one as well, then thank you very much for returning. I appreciate all the support. Being a new channel, it is quite hard to sort of get going. I'm hoping the visuals are better, and I'm hoping the audio is a bit better as well. I've tweaked the in-game audio so it's a little bit louder this time, because I noticed in episode 1 it was quite quiet, and I'm well aware that my voice can be quite drony at times. So yeah, it'd be nice to have a little bit of background noise, I think, for you viewers. So in today's episode, my plan is we're going to get a worker off on this field harvesting the wheat, and we will take on a contract, I think. So if we set a course for this, we'll go and do a contract, get a bit more money in the bank. So I will just need to set the time again, because I did pause it just so that I could get all that stuff out of the way for you. So go back to ×3, and then let's have a look in the contract menu, see what there is. Right, so we've got a ploughing contract, or 2 baling contracts. With the baling contracts, I do prefer to do the silage ones, just because they will make us a bit more money with the excess bales, and this particular one is probably one of the biggest fields, I think. Field 41. In fact, I think that's the field next to the farmyard, which will be ideal. Yeah, field 41 there. So as you can see, it is pretty much one of the biggest fields on the map. Maybe 72 is probably a bit bigger, but yeah, so 41, but it is right next to the farmyard, so very close. Get that done while we're harvesting field 27. So I will get this off on a worker. And then we will go and accept that contract. And start doing some silage. So create job, course play field work, course generator. Well, I have noticed a little tip. The work width is not always what the machine says it is, and I normally go by what the machine says. So the header is actually 5.1 meters. We'll change that. We'll do 1 headland. I think we'll start on the center. Headland corners are sharp. They're not very rounded on this field. And we will skip a row, because for some reason I just like to skip a row. So generate that, close that, and get him off. And then we shall accept that baling contract. So obviously that does mean that we will need to lease the bale wrapper as well at some point. What I will do as well, I've got the course play settings set so that the harvester will self-unload if there's a trailer near the field. So we'll just drop this trailer off here. Open the cover. I remember. Get the right button, that is. There we go. We'll use the fent to do the mowing. a little bit more power for those mowers. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you've had a good weekend. It's Monday that I'm recording this episode, so just had the weekend. Fairly relaxed one. We did a little bit of shopping Saturday. Went to King's Lynn with my partner and her aunt. And then Sunday was just a bit of a chilled out day at home. So yeah, wasn't too bad to be fair. Did anyone get up to anything interesting or exciting? Yeah, just get hooked up to these. Ooh. Facial awareness there. Not very good. Let's get this over to field 41. Actually, I think what I might do is set this off on a worker, and then get the new Renault with the baler and start baling the straw on these two fields while this is mowing. Kill two birds with one stone. Get a few bits done at the same time, which of course is the beauty of course play. This is field 41 here. Mark him up there. So the rear mowers are 10 meters, I think they are. So we'll change that to 10. We'll do one headland, sharp again, skip a row. Could not generate course. Okay. How strange. Let's unfold that. Let's just make sure it's got cloth. So see if we can get that course play running now. Okay. Too sure where he's actually going, but we'll be going to the start somewhere. Oh yes, because I've got it set to clockwise. Right, is he stuck? he doing? Let's just give him a helping hand. Get away from that wall. And then, there we go. Right, so I think I'll crack on with this off camera, and then I'll bring you all back when this field's harvest and when field 41 is mowed, and then we can crack on with the rest of the jobs and see how much money we can make by the end of the day. So I shall see you shortly. Alright, welcome back everyone. So that's the second wheat field all harvested. While the harvester was going, I was baling the first wheat field. So that's all baled up ready to be collected. The second wheat field still needs baling and collecting. And then on the contract on field 41 over there, we've finished the mowing. The Fent nearly ran out of fuel. Just jump in there. The fuel warning noise is on, so need to get some fuel. But as you can see, we are now down to £625. So we did have a little bit of running costs come out. Obviously work fees as well for the past couple of hours. As you can see, it's now 25 to 2 in the afternoon. So what we will do is sell this trailer of grain. So there is 23,720 litres in there, and then there's another 10,321 left in the harvester. So I think we might possibly keep what's in the harvester, put it into the silo, but we will sell this trailer load to get some money in the bank, and then we can put some fuel in the fuel tank there, get some fuel in the Fent, and then we can crack on with the rest of the contract. I'm not in a hurry to get that baled up just yet, just because of the time. Still got quite a bit to do on that contract. So Courseplay did have a couple of little problems. The harvester here, just around this building, around this area here, and then a bit more around this building here. So I think in future we'll probably do 2 headlands, and then it should clear. We'll also do the headlands first, I think. And then the other issue I had, I left the game and came back in while the harvester and the mower were going. And when we came back to check on the mower, it was doing, so it did the headland first, then it was doing the up and down rows, skipping a row at a time. But I didn't actually see until it got right near the end, and it was missing a strip all the way along, one little strip all the way along the field. So I checked the Courseplay settings, and the width had dropped down to 8.3 metres. Now I know for a fact I set it at 10. So whether that's because I left the game and came back into it and it reset the width, because I also noticed it on the harvester when we came to do the headland. it was missing a tiny bit then as well. So I checked that, and that had gone back up to 5.3 metres, and the header's 5.1. So possibly it could just be that I left the game, came back in, and it altered the settings for some reason, but it is what it is. I just finished off the headland on the field there, and the contract is sat at 20% complete, which normally means that that's enough to complete the contract once it's baled and delivered. But I do think next time, if I just be quicker to go into the build mode here, go over to that field. I do tend to, when I'm doing the contracts, baling contracts, I do tend to try and get as close to the edge as I can, just to get as much grass as possible so that we have more left over. So especially down this strip further at the bottom, it's quite a lot that we could have got for a bit extra. And as I say, all these strips in between. So I think we'll bear that in mind for future. I'm not going to go back over them now, because that will just make baling a real pain. And as I say, we should have enough now, but going forward, I think we'll at least try and do headlands first ourselves, just to get that bit extra, and double check the widths on the course play settings. So yeah, we've got a few bales out of this field. We'll get a few more out of this one. I've set the baler to 220 centimetre bales, ready for the silage contract, because we need them for that bale wrapper that we want to get. I've got the baler over here ready. So what I'm going to do is jump into the Ford, send that off on auto drive to sell, or to get to the sell point. So if we look down here for wheat, it's not a great price, obviously, because we're selling it straight off the field. If we waited till January, I think that would be, yeah, January I think is the best price. But we do need the money, so. And we have also got the soybean field to harvest in either next month or the month after, so that will bring in a little bit of extra cash as well. So we will take it to Buckland Inn again, like the first field. That's got the best price at the moment. So if I just bring up the auto drive menu, and we want sell points, and then Buckland Inn. Turn that on, and off we go. Right, so he'll go off to the sell point. We will jump in the Renault. Just going to make sure that is still set at 220. Yeah, so it's, yeah. Excellent. So start on this, on the headland, get all that baled up. So the other thing with this modded baler is it does have a slightly wider pickup, so you haven't got to worry about missing little bits here and there. So on a field like this, it does really help. because it is a big field and we don't want to be missing bits. Looks like the baler went right through that edge. The mower, sorry. Just get that a little bit there. Get that a little bit there. As I say, you want to get as much as possible from the baling contracts. It all helps in the end. Just get some of this baled up, and then I think once we get a notification say the Ford's got to the sell point, we'll sell that grain, get him on his way back, and sort out the fuel in the fuel tank, and then crack on with the baling. I'll probably put the rest of it into a bit of a time lapse. Can be a bit boring just watching a baler go around a field, so yeah. As I said earlier, I am hoping that this is slightly better with audio and visually. My voice is something I'm working on. I'm trying to make it a lot easier to listen to. I have always found it hard, sort of public speaking, if you like. I know this isn't public speaking, but in a way it's like that, and in the back of my head it is. I know people will be watching, listening, and I do get a bit nervous sometimes, but that does come across in my voice. I don't normally talk like this, so I'm just hoping I can address that, and hopefully a bit more pleasant to listen to. I think I used the word drony before, and yeah, it's I can only apologise. I do hope it will, as the series progresses and I'll get more used to doing this sort of thing, it will hopefully get a lot better for you. And that is my controller just disconnecting. Anyway, I'll be back. Does that every now and then. I use the Xbox controller, and every now and then, it's not the batteries, it just disconnects, and so for a few seconds I'm without a controller, and I end up having tractors going across the field like that. It's a bit annoying. As I say, yeah, I do use the controller and sort of mix between that and the mouse and keyboard. The other issue I find in the evenings, my internet connection isn't great, so I'm trying to work out a way to make that better. Mainly I will be ringing Sky, who are my internet provider. I mean, that is probably my first issue, the fact that I'm with Sky. Yeah, I do need to try and get the internet sorted, especially if I'm going to be doing this sort of thing a bit more. Right, it's very hard to keep this tractor on course because the swaths are quite big and it just keeps bouncing over them, and there goes the controller again. I think the controller issue is partly to do with my internet connection as well, because obviously Bluetooth just keeps dropping in and out. I am going to get a different tractor on this baler though. It's just too hard to control over these swaths. PTO. So we've got we need to fill the fent up. Board's on its way to the sell point. I think we might have to wait until that's there. Let's just park this one here for a minute. Check on the Ford. That's why it's not here. Why has he gone? Oh no, we are here. Why is he trying to go through there then? I wonder. Unless he was trying to get through there to straighten up and then reverse. The sell point is... Yeah, the sell point, the auto drive node is there, so he must have been trying to get through that gate to let's see, we'll open the gate for him. See what happens. I imagine you can go through, straighten up and then reverse up to the actual sell point. Yeah, there you go. Let's jump in and do that for him. We'll stop that. Actually, I'm going to see if he tips it as well. As I say, this is the first experience with auto drive, so I'm not 100% sure what all the settings are. Yeah, so he's not... I know you can do it with a mix of course play and auto drive, so that's probably where the tipping comes into it. There we go, nearly 12 grand for that. So bank balance is looking a lot healthier now. And I think they're going to get him to drive himself back. Okay, where will this be? This must be main farm. Farm repair workshop. Send him there. Right, let's get some diesel. So I think we will do 2,000 litres for now. Refuel him. This is the manual fueling mode. I can't remember mod. I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah, I think that will do. We won't quite fill it because we do need to get some diesel in some other machines. So we'll go and park the mowers up, put them away in the shed again, and then we can put the fent on the baler, and hopefully because of the wider frame of the tractor it might straddle the swath a bit better and not be all over the place then. Yes. I remember now when I put these in here, I need to be right over so that it doesn't clip. Nope, nope, nope. Don't do that. Probably left myself a bit of room to get out of the vehicle. Just grab that weight again so that we know where it is, because I guarantee I'll forget where I put it. Conscious of the time, we've got to get all that baled up. Oh, here's the Ford. Yeah, we've got to get all that baled up, then wrapped, and then delivered as well. So get them all off the field. I'm a bit conscious of the time. Again, it's something once I get used to it. Sort of planning episodes and etc. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. And obviously, when we come out of when we get out of August, we'll be on the 2-day months then as well. So yeah, that's a lot easier. Rattling the swath so we're not bouncing all over the place. Excellent. I think what I might possibly do is, because I don't want the episodes to be mega long. And I think we're probably about there with the time for this one. So yeah, I think I might call this one here and then get this bailed up off camera. So then on the next episode we will get them wrapped and get them delivered. I think that will be the best option. So yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining me again. I hope as the episodes go by, I know I keep sort of talking about it, but hopefully as the episodes go by you'll start seeing an improvement in things and start enjoying them more. I am enjoying making them despite what my voice is telling you. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how the series progresses, really. Right, well, thank you very much for joining me, and I will hopefully see you next time. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not already. And any comments are more than welcome. I will try to reply back to as many as I can. And yeah, that's all from me. So I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much and speak to you soon.